Good morning. How my honeybooms and book bays doing? Yep. First starting off, I got the scripture right here. It is New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2024. All right, 7:30 p.m. on the dot. Let's read scripture. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Philippians 4:6 NIV. Amen. All right. Now, you may be wondering, who the heck are you? Well, I am who I am. Whose channel is this? It's a Heaven J. Fox production. That's right. But me, I'm Jimmy JT Tipton. That's right. I'm still Heaven. Like, hello, ma'am. I'm Gibby. I'm still Gibby, right? I'm Heaven J. Fox. Even though I'm in Jimmy form, I'm still Heaven J. Fox. And I thought, I was on my channel. If you want to check it out, I'm gonna link all the stuff in the description below. All right, I'm giving y'all a little intro backstory, so we don't have to do this every time. But yeah, my channel is Crackhead Jimmie. I play Sims and other little novel interactive games and whatever else. Whatever strikes my fancy, that's what I do. I'll talk about stuff or whatever, all right? I am Evan J. Fox. I'm just as the character, Jimmy. Yeah. You want to learn more about me and what I do, it'll be down there at the bottom, okay? Now, getting on to the story. I'm going to be reading books. Evan J. Fox books. My books, right? As Jimmy, the character. I think it would be fun and funny. I had started reading, like to make audiobooks, right? But regardless, you still have to have some kind of video going. So I just came up with it today because I've been reading, like interactive decision-based game novels like this. So I decided, well, why not read my book for the people? So, hey, you can watch and listen, or you can just listen. You can be washing dishes, you can be driving in your car, going to bed, fall asleep, whatever. Listening to the story. Okay? Now, a little bit about this here story. This is the first self-published story that I have written. It's a very short story. Let's say about self-published in 2014, so about 11 years ago, right? Now, funnier than that, it was written about probably like 20, 21 years ago now. Yeah. And doctored it up a bit, and I put it out there, self-published, because technically it was just a test, right? It was just a test for me to make sure that I knew I was doing what I was doing on KDP, how to upload a book, and that it was going to be fine. Technically, nobody was supposed to, read it, download it, like it, none of that. I really didn't think it would do much of anything. I just wanted to make sure everything went through just swimmingly. Now, another caveat on this one, well, personally, I would say that it's kind of on a wholesome type of side, you know what I'm saying? Until you probably get to the end. And then some people probably like, oh my God, no you didn't. Well, whatever, it's realistic. That's what I like to call myself, writer, like realistic fiction. Things that are going to happen or have happened in real life to you, me, anybody. You know what I mean? That's what I like to write about. So, we're going to start off with this short novelette and have some fun while we're reading. Okay? So that way, I'm not going to be, just bore you to death. I don't know. I'm pretty funny. I'm a funny guy. That's why I'm here. Yes. But let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, I might point out some stuff. If it's funny, we're gonna laugh. If it's sad, we're gonna cry. If it's stupid, we're gonna kick it on it. We're gonna talk about it. Yes, it's my book. Yes, I wrote it. I don't care. Anybody can get it. You understand? That's why I'm Jimmie. That's why I'm doing it. You understand? If I make it, it's probably gonna be a lot of mistakes in here. Cause hey, I'm a one-man band. You know what I mean? I did it all by myself. Okay? Proofread, tried to, But hey, again, honestly, 14 years ago that it's self-published, okay? And yes, it probably needs updated covers, and it probably needs, some fresh, kind of like edits and so on and so forth. I plan to do that. But until then, let's have some fun with it the way it is right now. All right, let's get it. Now, don't forget, my name is Jimmie. You can call me Crackhead Jimmie. You can call me Jimmie. You can call me JT. But just don't call me broke. I'm just playing. I'm broke. It don't matter. Let's get to it, shall we? Let's go. Chapter 1. Okay, Kissing Cousins by Heaven J. Fox. Chapter 1. Now, this is Don't worry. See, that's what I'm saying. We got some outdated stuff here. The foxyflynn.com is no longer. See what I'm saying? I need to come in here and clean it up. I'll do. Again, this web, Heaven J. Fox, yes, is still there. Instagram, Twitter is still there. It's probably not. Yeah, I'm not saying X. I don't care. Not doing that. So this is the copyright page. Okay, dedication to all my readers with lots of love. To everyone who has ever had their first love and first heartbreak. If you haven't yet, or if you're going through it now, just know and remember that joy comes in the morning. It does. Maybe not the next morning, but if you give up now, you'll never get in the morning to find out. You know what I'm saying? So yes, joy does come in the morning. Just keep going. No pain ever lasts forever. It will get better and you will get over it. Definitely. I mean, not from the bottom of my heart. You will get over it. And then on top of that, not only will you get over it, you'll be thanking God that it did not happen. Trust me. Live long enough. You see what I'm saying? Hey, with a Blake page. Boy, this is old. This is supposed to be, oh my, what is it? Yeah, it's not, you can't even click. Lord, see what I'm saying? You can't even click on it. It's not even the contents is not even clickable, but okay. Another way, okay. Acknowledgements. All praises be to God. Thanks to all my family, friends, and readers. All right. Another blank page. God dang. Okay, finally. Sorry about this, guys. You're going to see some highlighted ones with those who read it. Highlighted stuff the most, and that's what the dotted underline is. Yes. So, here we are. Ready? Let's go. Shall we begin? Let's do it. All right, chapter 1. The cutest guy. Now, I'm going to tell you, stay tuned. Stick to it. Because, man, book 2, book 3, book 4, man, oh man, it's something else. I'm telling you. Just trust me. I'm going to read it. We're going to find out. Let's go. He was the cutest guy in school. Well, that's what Nyla West thought. His name was Chase Donovan. See, that's why I'm reading this, Jimmie. Because I don't care if I mess up. And you don't care either, do you? Not really. You just want to hear the story. Okay? Let's do it. All right. So his name was Chase Donovan. And he was 6 feet 2 inches tall. He wore the brightest smile. It was sort of like a half smile where one side of his lip turned north and the other stayed neutral. He had a lanky walk that screamed he knew he was cool. Of course he was. He was the most popular guy at James Taylor High, a junior, and on the basketball team. Nyla was walking down the hall when Chase Donovan decided to talk to her for the first time. Hey, new girl, what's up? Nyla felt a twinge in her heart. She just knew he wasn't talking to her. She wasn't a new girl. She had been going to James Taylor since the beginning of the school year. Nyla turns around and Chase Donovan was looking dead at her with his eyes, with his smile. Oh my God, can I read? All right. Okay, so Chase Donovan was looking dead at her with his smile, his half smile, and beautiful white teeth. That's good. He got good hygiene. That's good. Yeah. Okay. Girl, say something. Gia Nash, Nyla's best friend since forever, nudged her arm against hers. He's talking to you. Girl, you better jump on that. Nyla was at a loss for words. She just looked at Chase and smiled a nervous grin, trying her best to keep eye contact. Yeah, that's pretty hard sometimes, looking dead in your soul. He and his boys just kept walking past Nyla while Chase stared at her and said, "She sure is fine, ain't she?" The guys all gave their nods, for Chase's words were gold, even if they didn't think she was fine. If Chase said it, then it must be true. Whenever Nyla would look at him, her heart would dissolve. Just the thought of him would make her heart beat 20 times faster and her legs weak. Nyla was ninth grade popular, which meant however popular she was in middle school had nothing to do with her popularity at James Taylor High, let alone attracted the attention of a junior. That's why she, never in her wildest dreams, would even attempt to let Chase Donovan know how she really felt. Whew, the mere incident made the rest of Nyla's life. She couldn't concentrate on her schoolwork for the rest of the day. She kept her head looking straight forward as if paying attention to her teacher, but all she heard coming from his lips was blah, 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 wah, wah, wah. Y'all know that, the teacher's voice echoed something from the classic Charlie Brown cartoons. Some of y'all probably too young to remember Charlie Brown. Peanuts, if you will. All right. So Nyla couldn't wait to get home to daydream about Chase. When she arrived home, that's all she did. Nyla lay in her bed all day dreaming about the tall, handsome guy at school they called C-Don. Days upon days, this became the norm for Nyla. She would go to school and see Don. I'm sorry. I'm just wondering real quick, like, who the heck would call that? Who the heck would call themselves C-Don? What? I mean, I know his name Chase Donovan, but I'm just like, C-Don. Look, I told y'all, I don't care if I wrote it or not, I can get it too. Anybody can get it. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, if I'm reading anybody's book or anybody's stuff, look, even me, I'm just saying, what was I thinking? C-Don. Like, who? Is that supposed to be a cool name? I'm sorry. Oh, man. Come on now. You already know I told y'all how old this book was. All right, let's go. Whew, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. This is what it's gonna be like. I'm just saying. I love y'all. Okay, we reading. Where was I? She would go to school and Sidon would make his comment to her, and she would be on cloud nine until the next comment that he made to her. Nyla was a ninth grade virgin. That meant, that knew very little about boys, okay? Her mother was somewhat strict. Nyla didn't even talk to boys on the phone. She didn't have sleepovers or go to the movies with her friends. She was, however, allowed to go to the mall on some Saturdays, but only by being dropped off and picked up by her mother. This never bothered Nyla because her mother was her best friend. That's nice, isn't it? They talked about everything, even about sex. Can you believe that? Yeah. Her mother told her that whenever she felt that she was ready to have sex, to come and talk to her about it, and she would get her some protection and let her know all about the pros and cons that came with this big responsibility. Yes. Well, that's sweet, wasn't it? Oh, that's chapter 1. I told you I was short. It's short. Might as well keep going. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe try 3 chapters in. Let's try that. Wait, let me see. Okay. Nyla's mother. Oh, wait. I'm so sorry. Excuse my, rudeness. I should start off by saying chapter 2. He came. Oh, that really sounded really disgusting. I'm so sorry. That's not meant. It's not meant like that. It was, yeah, no. Okay, it doesn't matter. Just to let y'all know, I'm drinking my tea. It's evening time. Happy New Year's Eve to y'all. Okay, here we go. Chapter 2, he came. Nyla's mother was a stickler about reputation. She didn't want her daughters ruined, nor did she want her daughter to ruin hers. After one of the school's pep rallies, Chase walked up to Nyla to talk to her. Hey, sexy. He gave her his half-flirty smile and put his arms around Nyla as they were walking down the hall. Ooh. Hey, Nyla said nervously as she took her fingers to remove the strand of hair which escaped from her ponytail and invaded her eye area. Can I call you tonight? Yeah. Nyla's insides began to jump in her stomach as if she ate 1,000 jumping beans for lunch. Okay, let's stop right there for a second. Pause. Is there a such thing as jumping beans? Is that a real thing? I've never had a jumping bean before in my life. Hold on, let me say, hold on. OMG, guys. OMG. I have never in my life ever even wondered what the heck a jumping bean was. And apparently, they were selling these things for like children's toys. Literally. I'm gonna play a video for you. It's gonna be in a deeper voice, but don't worry about it. It'll tell you all about jumping beans really quick. Listen.
This bean actually jumps on its own. It's not magic. It's actually called a Mexican jumping bean. It bounces without any human intervention. And the higher the temperature, the hotter it gets, the more it bounces. Isn't that amazing? Why does it jump? It turns out there are moth larvae inside the beans. They lay their eggs inside. The larvae then eat up the flesh and stay inside. If it gets uncomfortably warm, the larva's hind legs will grab the inside of the bean and bang their heads against the inner wall. The force is enough to make the beans jump. This is how they escape the heat. They keep jumping to where they feel comfortable.
Crazy! What? It's supposed to be like little moth larva inside the jumping bean. What? That is crazy. Oh my goodness. And then it's like little Oh God, I didn't know that's what a jumping bean was. That's nuts. Like for real, for real. It's kind of sad actually, and disgusting at the same time. Like literally, ew. Never, never. Okay, enough of that. Let's get back to it, okay? Yeah. All right. So, yeah, so Nyla's inside began to jump in her stomach as if she ate 1,000 jumping beans for lunch. And see, that right there, that sentence, at the end of that sentence, that proved I don't know what the heck I was talking about. Because obviously, you don't eat jumping beans. Just because it's beans, it's not edible. It's not a what did you call it? I can never say the word. Languine? You know what I mean? It's not a bean that you eat. You don't boil them, you don't cook them. It's a seed, actually. It's crazy. Look it up on TikTok or something. You know, the jumping beans. And they're from Mexico. That's crazy. That goes to show. That's stupid right there. Like she ate 1,000 jumping beans for lunch. Wow. Hey, I didn't know what the heck I'm talking about. Let's continue on. Okay. Oh, no. Sorry, got the deeper voice. Okay, I'll call you tonight. Chase began walking backwards and never took his eyes off of Nyla. But you don't have my number, Nyla yelled to him. Yeah, I got it. I been had it. Chase turns around and ran to catch up to the other guys, and left Nyla there wondering how he had gotten her number. Who gave it? Who gave him Nyla's number? mm-hmm. Months went by. Months, y'all, went by. And Nyla and Chase talked on the phone almost every night. Nyla told her mother all about Chase, and her mother didn't seem to mind if he called. Nyla loved to hear his somewhat deep voice and the way he said hello when he answered the phone. It sounded more like hello. And the way he said hold on sounded more like hold on. Okay, ain't that yeah? One night they were talking on the phone and Chase wanted to know what she was doing. Oh, when she was going to come over to visit him. Oh no, I'm not allowed to go over a guy's house. Nyla giggled. Well, what your mother doesn't know won't hurt her, now will it? His voice still sounding sexy, yet cunning. I don't know, Chase. My mom knows everything. All you have to do is say that you're walking to the store and then just come by here, he said, cutting her off. Think you can do that for me? I'll try. Nyla felt unsure about deceiving her mother, but she really did want to spend time with Chase. After hanging up with Chase, Nyla couldn't sleep for thinking about how she could be able to visit Chase. The next day at school, everyone was talking about the party that Chase was throwing on Friday night. It sounded like it was going to be really fun, but Nyla knew that she was never going to be allowed to go. You coming to my party on Friday, orange? Oh, look, I done made her a girl, him a girl. Oh, my bad. Let me get my D-bone. Hold on. You are coming to my party on Friday, aren't you? Chase asked, looking at Nyla like a puppy dog. You know how my mom is, Chase. I don't know if I'll be able to. Nyla looked down at the floor because she didn't want to see the disappointment in his face. Oh, come on. Just ask her. You'll never know until you try. All right, I'll ask. See, that's what I like about you. You're one of those nice girls. I like nice girls. Chase did his signature smile and walked away. You think your mom is gonna... Oh, now we at Gia. You think your mom was gonna let you go? Gia asked. Heck no. The girls laughed. But I have to try, Gigi. You guys have been talking on the phone for months. Have you even popped the question yet? No, but it's kind of implied, right? I don't know. If it was me, I'd want something a little more concrete. I know that's right, girl. Don't assume nothing. You know what they say? When you assume, you make a out of you and me. Now, sorry, y'all. That's just me drinking my tea. It was Friday night. Oh, no, it was Friday, and Nyla still had not asked her mother if she can go to the party. Every time she tried, it just wouldn't come out of her mouth. Finally, the time had come, and it was now or never. Nyla walked up to her mother, took a deep breath to try and gather her words, and just blurted it out. Mom, can I go to Chase's party tonight? Party? I don't know, Nyla. Those boys are awfully older than you. They'll probably be drinking and only God knows what. Mom, just because other people drink doesn't mean I have to. Nyla, you have never been to an adult party. You don't know what goes on at things like that. Will his parents be there? I don't know. Probably. Well, the only way I will allow you to go is if I take you myself. But then again, I don't know. Mom, it's only up the street. Nyla, it will be dark outside, and there are bad people in this world that can kidnap you, rape you, or even kill you. Now, it's my way or no way. Okay, we'll do it your way. Nyla wanted to pout, but the thought of being able to go to the party and see Chase won over the pouting. Even though Nyla was going to have to be chauffeured by her mother, she didn't care. She was going to Chase's party. She ran to her room to plan her outfit for tonight. She couldn't believe that her mother was going to let her go. She thought about what a great mother she had and wanted to go and give her mother a hug and tell her just that. Just when she was about to enter the room her mother was in, she heard her talking on the phone. I don't know about this whole situation with Nyla and Chase. She's too young to be getting involved seriously so quickly. I know. But that's my girl. That's my little girl. I'll do whatever in my power to protect her as much as I can. Uh-huh. Okay. Right, girl. You know these kids these days. Nyla didn't want to interrupt her mother's telephone conversation, so she headed back to her room and began to get ready for tonight. She began to do her hair and then paint her nails and toenails. She really wasn't allowed to wear makeup, nor did she really want to anyway. Nyla had natural beauty. She'd inherited it from her mother. She lightly smoothed on a thin layer of lip gloss with just a hint of color. The time had finally arrived. Her mother pulled up to Chase's house, and the two of them looked from the car window at all the cars that were parked in his driveway, on the streets, and in the grass. People were all over the house and in the yard. There were beer cans everywhere. Nala couldn't believe her eyes. She just knew her mother was going to say, "No way, I'm taking you home." That would be something that Nyla would quickly agree to at this point. But to her surprise, her mother said, "I'm going in with you. I'm going in with you. You're not going by yourself, girl. Nuh-uh. Not like this. So let me ask y'all. Anybody's parents or mama had to ever go with them to a party? Just Nyla? Okay. Or better yet, let me know. Tell me about y'all first party. Like, specifically or preferably house party. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't hear much. Well, maybe because I'm old now, but I don't hear much. Everybody just get together, do something. You going over? I don't know. They still got parties. Back then it was like 25 cents. They used to have a heaven or hell. Okay, so heaven was up at the top. No drinking or whatever. Then hell was in the basement where they was kicking it, drinking and smoking and all that. Look, it costs a little bit more to go to hell. That's crazy. When I think about it, no way in hell would I want to go pay to go to hell. Yeah. Here we go. Nyla wanted to ask her mother, "Are you crazy?" Her mother got out of the car and Nyla followed. Nyla held onto her mother's arms and she led her through the thick crowd. As they approached the inside of the house, an older lady walked up to Nyla's mother, giving her a hug and said, "Long time no see. How you been?" "I've been good. And you?" "You sure have gotten old, girl. Dang." Nyla's mother wasn't one for biting her tongue, meaning she had no filter. As if her thoughts had a voice of its own, and she just flowed it just flowed from her brain instead of her mouth. "Girl, these boys, I tell you, will keep you looking old. Okay? This must be your daughter. She look just like you, like a little you." The older lady hugged Nyla and told her that if she goes in the other room, she can be able to find Chase. And the two ladies walked away into the kitchen. Nyla couldn't believe that her mother just left her in a room full of people she didn't know. And who was the older lady that knew she wanted to see Chase? Just then, a familiar face appeared through a crowd of people and a thick cloud of smoke. Who wants to smoke? No, okay. "When did you get here, Gigi?" "Girl, I've been here." Gia snapped her finger and bounced her butt to the beat. She was acting way different, Nyla thought. "Nyla, you know Carter?" "No." Carter seemed a little older. His pants sagged and he wore a bandana to keep his dreads from falling in his face. A total opposite from Chase, who seemed to be more clean cut and casual looking. "What you mean, no? He Chase's brother." Nyla was shocked and surprised because she found it hard to believe. "You mean to tell me he hasn't introduced you to his brother?" Nyla got close to Gia and whispered into her ear, "We have more things to talk about, if you know what I mean." Gia rolled her eyes. "Here you go. You wanted another drink, right?" Carter asked Gia, handing her a plastic cup. "Yes, thank you." "Gia, my mom's in the other room." "No, thank you." Just that fast, Gia handed the cup back to Carter. "Why is she here?" Nyla gave her that look as if she already knew. "Hey, sexy." "Hi." Nyla grabbed Chase as if she was lost and he had just found her. "You want a drink?" Chase asked as he tried to hand Nyla a beer. "No, Chase. I don't drink." "My mother would kill me." She looked at Chase, surprised that he was drinking. Like she's gonna know if you had a sip of beer. She's in there now getting her drink on herself. Nyla peered through the crowd to look into the kitchen and saw her mother sitting at the kitchen table having a drink and a good time. It was as if she came to this party for herself, Nyla thought. All of a sudden, Chase reached down and started to kiss Nyla. His breath reeked of beer and booze as his tongue searched for hers. She kept using her tongue to put his back into his mouth where she thought it belonged. Just relax, baby. I can't. All these people and my mother is right there in the other room? Nyla was more worried than ever. Ain't nobody even thinking about us. I know I ain't thinking about them. All I know and see right now is you. He would start staring deep into Nyla's eyes. She melted as if she was the wicked witch that just had water poured on her. Just let it happen. He reached down to continue where he left off, and this time Nyla welcomed his tongue in her mouth to play with hers. Hey, sit down, man. Your moms want you and the girl to come in the kitchen. Chase hesitantly looked at Carter and said, hi, man, damn. Nyla had no idea who this guy was. Wait. Nyla had no idea. Oh, Nyla had no idea this guy was Chase's brother. He wasn't anyone she had seen at school. Plus, he was way older than they were. She was afraid to go into the kitchen for fear that her mother had heard about or seen them kissing. Whew. All she knew was that she felt like she had fallen in love with Chase, and he was going to be her everything. As they reached the kitchen, the two ladies were sitting at the table with their drinks and laughing. Finally, the two looked up and told, they go, oops. Finally the two looked up and told Nyla and Chase to have a seat. They did. Nyla's mother looked at her and said, are you having a good time, honey? Yeah. Are you, Mom? Yes, girl, I am. I haven't had this much fun in a long time. It's been a while since I've been out. Nyla was glad to see her mother was enjoying herself because it had been a while for her. But now, Nyla had guessed that the older lady was Chase's mother. She was just wondering about how the two knew each other. Mom, Nyla leaned over to whisper to her mother, you know her? Oh yeah, me and Lydia go way back, her mother said without returning the favor to whisper back. Now everyone knew what Nyla was whispering about. She just sunk further down in the chair and wished she could just disappear. Whew. The two ladies began to explain. They went back and forth about people they knew. A few names here and there Nyla recognized, but she became more enthused about looking into Chase's eyes. He sat there, slumped into his seat, with his long legs swinging back and forth, staring into Nyla's eyes as if he were hypnotizing her. Nyla said, oh, okay, sorry for that. Nyla sat there smiling at him, allowing herself to be drawn into him. All of a sudden, she was snapped back into reality by a word she heard the two women say, cousins. Had I known this was the boy you were talking about all this time, I would have told you. Good thing we got it before we got to it before something happened. Something did happen between y'all, her mother said, laughing with the other lady. Nyla couldn't believe what she was hearing. Her ears were lying to her brain. Her heart began to ache, and her eyes began to swell with tears. There was no way that Chase was her cousin. She made sure that no one would see her cry. She looked at Chase and couldn't believe his reaction. He was still sitting there with his long, lanky legs swinging, looking at the two of the women with his signature smile on his face. How could he still be so cool at a time like this? Nyla knew what it was. It was a joke. They were all playing a practical joke on her. Nyla jumped from their chair, knocking it over. She bumped into her mother's chair, trying to get past her in a hurry. Everything became a blur for Nyla as she headed from her mother's car, or for her mother's car, excuse me. She could somewhat hear a faint sound of her mother's voice calling her name, but she was too outdone to turn back. Whoo-wee! Cousins, huh? Well, that's nuts. What y'all think about that? What would y'all do if y'all was in that situation? If you liked it, a boy was crushing hard on a boy, and then you find out when your parents see each other that you're related. Wow. Poor Nyla. I'm pretty sure her heart is crushed into a billion pieces. Let's continue on to chapter 3. Here we go. Chapter 3. He saw. After returning home that night, Nyla lay in her bed and wept. She refused to answer any calls from Gia because she just wasn't in the mood to do any explaining of something she was unsure of herself. The phone rang again, and it was Chase. Hey, sexy. Gross! How can you call me that after what we know? Chase could barely hear Nyla because she sounded as if she was talking through her nose. Please. That doesn't change the way I feel about you. I still love you. Nyla could tell by the way Chase sounded that he wore a signature smile as he was talking to her. Don't pay them no mind. What did they say? We were like third or fourth cousins. They lying anyway. How do you know? Nyla sniffed. It should be sniffled. Shouldn't it be? Sniffled? I don't know. I've never seen you at any of my family functions or reunions. Have you seen me at yours? Chase didn't wait for Nyla to answer before he continued on. This is just something our mothers concocted to make sure that I leave your virginity intact. Now you get you some sleep. And don't worry about it, okay? With that, Nyla stopped crying and said goodnight to Chase. Nyla felt somewhat betrayed by her mother lying to her. She also had mixed feelings about if Chase was telling the truth. Knowing her mother, Nyla decided to go with Chase's explanation of the whole situation. The next day, Nyla told her mother that she was going to walk down to the corner store to get a soda. Of course, Nyla had to walk past Chase's house before she got to the corner store. Hey, sexy? Chase's usual greeting toward Nyla. I didn't think you were going to make it. You want to come in? No. Can't we just sit out here on your porch? I really don't want your mother to see me here, Nyla answered nervously. Baby, relax. My mom is not even here. With that, Chase led Nyla to his room. Upon being in his room, he walked up to Nyla and put his arms around her and began kissing her. With every second of their kiss, Nyla fell harder and harder for her first love. She began to move his hand. He began to move his hand downward to touch her bottom. This is when Nyla began to freak out. She has never dealt with feeling like this, and she was unsure of the way her body was responding. Relax, baby, were the words that Chase kept repeating. He then tried to lay Nyla on the bed. She resisted his gesture and stopped kissing Chase. What's wrong? Don't you love me? Chase asked, looking deep within Nyla's eyes. Yes, but I'm not ready for this. All Nyla could think about at this time was her mother and the conversations that they shared about this subject. She wasn't ready to deceive her mother in this way. It's getting late. I should go. Do you want me to walk you home? Chase asked, being concerned. No, I don't want my mother to know that I was here. Well, I'll walk you halfway then. The two walked down the street, and Chase kissed Nyla goodbye at the corner. Nyla felt nervous when she walked in the front door and saw her mother. Where's the soda? Her mother asked. I drank it on the way home. What took you so long to get back? I saw some of the girls from school at the store, and we sat there and talked for a minute. Nyla's mother just gave her a gaze that spoke, I don't believe you. Nyla ran up to her room to get out of her mother's eyesight, just in case she asked her some more questions. Girl, I can't believe he your cousin, Gia shrieked over the phone. He's not, so stop saying that. Nyla decided to go with Chase's version instead. The way he put everything was the only thing that made sense to her. I don't know, Nyla. If it was me, I don't think I'd chance it. You guys' baby gonna come out deformed or something. Nyla was laughing, but Gia was dead serious. A few days had passed, and Nyla finally got up enough nerves to ask her mother about some protection. Her mother was in the kitchen cooking dinner when Nyla walked up to her. Mom, can we talk a minute? Nyla said, rubbing her hands together. Yeah, go ahead. Her mother continued to cook as she gave Nyla a glance as if saying, Go ahead, I'm listening. Remember when you told me that if I was ready to have sex to come and tell you? Yeah. Her mother stopped cooking and turned to her face Nyla. Well, I think I'm ready. Nyla's mother instantly turned red from her blood boiling. You are not ready to have sex. You are way too young. But 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 you told me to come to you and talk to you when I was ready to have sex. Nyla was confused from her mother's outburst that she didn't even want to continue the conversation. I know you are not still talking to Chase like that after what you know. Nyla's mom didn't wait for an answer. How do you know that you're ready? Huh? She shouted. I I don't know. Nyla couldn't think for fear if she told her mother everything, it would make matters worse. You're darn right you don't know. Because it's not you who's ready to have sex, it's that damn boy. Nyla, he doesn't care about you. All he wants you for is sex. He probably heard that you were a virgin, and he want to take it away from you. Your virginity is something sacred, and it shouldn't just be given away. Yep, that's true. Nyla's mother was speaking from her heart because she loved her daughter and didn't want to see her hurt. But Nyla felt betrayed. She felt like her mother lied to her again and just didn't want her to be happy. Fine, Mom, was all that Nyla said. A few days went by, and Nyla was still somewhat bothered by her mother's reaction. Fine then, Nyla thought. I won't tell her anything else. That night, at the usual time, Chase called. Hey, sexy. Hey, Chase. What's up? Nothing. Just lying here thinking about you. And what are you thinking about? I'm thinking about you. And I get married one day and having kids. Yeah. This made Nyla blush and hold a grin that was bigger than her face. She was glad Chase was on the phone and not seeing her grin in person. You are so crazy, Chase. Crazy about you. So you coming over tomorrow? I don't know. My mom is kind of suspicious already. Come on. Please? For me? I'll try. Nyla stayed awake almost all night, thinking of how she could get to see Chase. The next day, after dinner, Nyla told her mother that she forgot her math book at school and wanted to know if she can go over to G's house to do homework. Of course, there was no math homework and no forgotten book. This was how Nyla had planned to get out of the house to see Chase. At Chase's house, they went upstairs and continued where they had left off the last time Nyla was there. They lay in the bed making out, but still nothing serious to Chase had taken place. Nyla lay in his arms, and they both drifted off to sleep. It was late, and Chase and Nyla had forgotten the time. It was of no essence to them as long as they were together. All of a sudden, Carter came into Chase's room and said, "Hey, Chase, the girl's mother here." Just then, Nyla's mother burst into the room and Chase slides under the bed, leaving Nyla alone to contend with her mother on her own. Nyla didn't know what to expect. She just stood there with her mouth wide open, frozen and unable to move. That is until she saw her mother about to charge at her full speed. Nyla whizzes past her mother and heads towards the car. "How could you? You lied to me. You will never, as long as I live, be able to get out of the house. Get your butt in the car now, young lady." Nyla was embarrassed. She was embarrassed for herself for forgetting the time and having her mother find her lying in bed with Chase. She was embarrassed for her mother and for Chase who she left under the bed. After she got home, her mother was still yelling at her. She wasn't even sure if her mother even took a breath. She told Nyla to get upstairs and go to bed. There will be no phone calls from anyone. The only thing you will be able to do from now on is go to school. Do you understand me? Nyla's mother was hurt. She couldn't believe that her daughter would do this to her. How could you? How could you? After all that we've talked about, nothing happened. Nyla yelled back to her mother. You expect me to believe that you lied to me to go over to that boy's house, laid up in his bed until 2-something in the morning and nothing happened? It didn't. Why can't you believe me? Nyla's mother looked at her as if she had asked a stupid question that she already had the answer to. It doesn't matter. Whatever you did, you might as well had. Nyla lay in bed, thinking about all the events that had taken place. It all happened so fast. One minute, she was making out with Chase, and the next minute, she was hiding under the bed. She couldn't understand how she managed to go to sleep at Chase's until 2:30 in the morning. Her mother must have been worried sick about her. She began to worry about Chase. After she heard her mother get into bed, she decided to sneak on the phone and call Chase. Carter answered the phone. Hello? May I speak to Chase? She just wanted to make sure he was all right and not mad at her. He's not here, the voice said on the phone. After that, all Nyla could hear was a dial tone. She hung up the phone, feeling sadder than ever. He has to be there. He just doesn't want to talk to her, she thought to herself. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Woo! Ain't like anything like that ever happened to y'all? Let me know in the comments, right? Man, oh man, oh man, is that crazy? If it did, what would y'all do in Nyla's situation? Hmm? That's crazy. What y'all think about C-Dawn? Man, oh, here he is, y'all. Chapter 4. So, it's a short story. But, we might be able to get through it all. Who knows? I think we will. Damn. I seriously want to know what y'all think about Chase. What y'all think about the mom. What y'all think about Nyla or Angia? Let me know. Let's talk about it. Chop it on up. Da-da, da-da, da-da. All right, here we go. Chapter 4. He conquered. All right, here we go. At school the next day, Nyla was eager to see Chase, but he wasn't at school. Now this really began to worry Nyla. Why wasn't Chase here? She thought to herself. I can't believe that happened, Gia said as they walked to first period. I can't believe that you didn't cover for me. Nyla, I can only cover for you for so long. But that time I was already in dreamland when your mom came by. And then it was too late anyway. Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry about getting you on punishment too. Girl, it's cool. It's not like I have anything to do or anywhere to go. When you're on punishment, I'm automatically on punishment. Upon entering first period, she had gotten called down to the office. She went down to the office and the secretary gave her a note and told her to sign out. The note read, Nyla's father called and needed her to come home immediately. This puzzled Nyla because her father lived in California. She wondered to herself if the event that happened last night was all that bad for her mother to call her father and have him fly all this way. As Nyla walked out of the school doors, she saw Chase. Her heart skipped a beat when she saw him standing there with his signature smile. Chase, what are you doing here? I came to get you. I don't understand. Nyla was more puzzled than ever. I called the school and I told them that I was your father. I needed you to come home. That way we can spend some time together and you can come home when school gets out. Nyla could not believe that Chase would go through all this if he didn't love her. She obeyed his command and went to his house. At his house, for the third time, they continued with the usual making out. This time, it went all the way. Nyla couldn't understand what the big deal about having sex was. All she knew was that it hurt really bad. Now, it wasn't that bad, was it? Chase said to her with a signature smile. Nyla said, Yeah, it hurt. I know. It always does the first time. See, all we have to do now is keep doing it, and each time it'll feel better and better. Nyla wasn't sure about this, but if Chase said it, then it must be true. When it was time for school to let out, Nyla began to walk home. After she got home, she decided that she needed to take a bath and soak in some hot water. When she took off her clothes, she noticed that her underwear was stained with blood. I must have started my period. That's odd. I just had one for this month. She soaked in the tub thinking about what had just taken place. She began to wonder what would be next and if her mother would know. Her mother always told her that when she had sex, she would know whether Nyla told her or not. Chase told Nyla to flick school and come to his house in the morning, and she did. They had sex again, and it still hurt Nyla. They did this for a whole 2 weeks, only going to school 1 or 2 days out of that week. Nyla knew how to sign her mother's signature, so on those days she went to school, she would give the principal a note of an excused absence with her mother's signature. As for Chase's mother, Nyla wasn't quite sure she cared. A few more weeks went by, and she hadn't heard from Chase at all, or her friend. And we ain't talking about Gia, the one that comes to see her once a month. Chase wasn't at school, and he wasn't calling her at his usual time either. Nyla asked around school if anyone had seen Chase, and they all said they hadn't seen him or heard from him. Nyla and Gia did a little research on the internet about possible pregnancy. After what they found out, the only thing to do was to get a pregnancy test and find out for sure. They walked to the store on the way home from school to get a pregnancy test because she knew her mother would be working late. What are you going to do if you are? Gia sat on the edge of the tub. I don't know, Gia. Have a baby? I doubt if you get that far when your mother finds out. In Nyla's mind, she hadn't really thought it all out that far yet. She'd been too busy worrying where Chase was and why he wasn't answering her phone calls. She was too scared to just pop up at his house. Gigi, close your eyes or turn around. Girl, it ain't like I was never in the bathroom while you used it before. I know, but right now it just feels different. Gia turned around and covered her eyes. Nyla started reading the directions and followed them to a T. Now it was time to wait and watch. The pregnancy test she had said one line would be negative and 2 lines would be positive. Nyla and Gia watched the little stick as it sat on the bathroom counter. Suddenly, one line appeared slowly through the tiny window. Nyla began to rejoice. Yes! She screamed and began to jump up and down. I'm not pregnant! Whoa! That was a close one, Gia. I'm not ever having sex again. Nyla began to gather up all her sinful evidence one by one and put it back in the box it came in. I seem to doubt that, Nyla. What you should be saying is that you're never going to have unprotected sex again. I don't plan on needing protection because that is seriously enough to scare me straight. Hand me the test so I can throw it in with this other trash. As she was about to hand Nyla's test, she froze. Nyla? I think you might want to look again. Why? Nyla peeked at the test in Gia's hand. No, it must have sat too long or something. We need another one. Nyla sat and cried as Gia ran to the store and got 2 more tests. She took both tests, and both tests came back exactly the same. Positive. Nyla sat there and stared at the little stick, crying uncontrollably. What am I going to do now? I don't know, Nyla. Just be glad that it's not positive for AIDS or STD. Gia sat on the edge of the tub thinking, but then again, you really don't know yet because you haven't been to the doctor. Gia, you're not helping. Nyla continued to sit on the bathroom floor, wondering how she was going to keep this from her mother. Her mind was wandering a mile a minute. She kept thinking about Chase and how much she loved him. For a split second, she thought about how wonderful it might be for her and Chase to share a life together and get married. They could both get jobs and rent an apartment. Everything will be fine, she thought to herself. Then a picture of Nyla's mother popped into her head. She knew she would have to run away with Chase because her mother would never accept this. Nyla then became scared and confused. Well, I guess first things first, you need to go find Chase. How, Gia? I don't know. I don't want to just pop up over there. Why not? You're carrying a seed. You have as much right as any right now. I know that's right, Jim. I know that's right. Woo! Oh my God. Teen pregnancy ain't no joke. Poor Nyla. Anybody got any similar stories that, not too personally, if you don't mind sharing, what I'm saying? Just like, I don't know. Shoot, this is crazy. I don't know. Poor Poe. And where, sit down at? Okay. Uh-oh. Chapter 5. He lied. Well, guys, I had to step away for a moment, but I'm back. And guess why? If you're watching this, you should feel very, very special. You know why? Because right now, at exactly this moment, it is exactly January 1st, 2025. The time is 1234, actually 12:34 a.m. Wow! Happy New Year to you, my dears. Yes. It is 1234. Wonderful. In the new year. And I'm back here with you after toasting with my wonderful family. Yes. It appears I'm going to be bougie in 2025. Or else, that's just the way I feel, not having a coffee cup in my hand or a teacup. It's a wine glass with some sparkling type of champagne. Champagne, even. Oh, wow. This is wonderful. Yes, wonderful. Yes. So, I'm going to sip while I read to you guys for this brand new, wonderful new year. You're welcome. Are you ready? How was your New Year's? Let me know in the comments. You know how mine is. Perfection. Because I'm talking with you guys. That's right. Oh boy. Yes. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to hold it. Wait, hold it like this. Yes, and twirl it between my fingers. Wait a minute. Oh, lip gloss all on my cup. I hate that. Okay. Happy New Year's, everyone. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to you. You guys ready? Okay. Chapter 5. He lied. Did he now? Don't they all? Okay. Well, let's continue on. Boy, I haven't read this since last year. Oh boy. Don't we just love saying that? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Let's go. All right. Nyla and Gia, hurry. I gotta put this down. I'll probably get too hyper. I don't want to waste it. Put it over there. Okay. I'm ready. Oh, I need my mouse. Okay. Wait. Okay. Here we go. Nyla and Gia hurried to Chase's house because he was almost. My God, let me start over. Please forgive me. Okay? All right. Nyla and Gia hurried to Chase's house because it was almost time for Nyla's mother to be coming home from work. As they walked up, a white girl with blonde curly hair was sitting on the porch in a rocking chair. A rocking chair. How old is she? The girl politely spoke as Nyla and Gia approached the porch. Hi, I'm looking for Chase. Nyla replied back, wondering who this girl was. Oh, hold on. I'll go get him for you. The girl walked into Chase's house, leaving Nyla and Gia to wait outside. Why didn't you just walk up in the house? Because I'm not going to do that, Gia. It's rude. Yeah, okay. Gia started to become defensive and folded her arms across her chest. You're not the least bit curious of who that girl might be? It's a lot of people that come in and out of this house. Maybe it's Carter's girlfriend or something. Chase comes outside with the girl standing by his side, still looking at Nyla with his signature smile. Hey, cuz. Hey, Chase. What's up? Now Nyla became defensive, wondering why Chase didn't greet her in his usual way. Yeah, Chase. What's up? Gia looked at him. Well, Gia looked him and the girl standing next to him up and down. Someone calls Chase from inside the house for him to come here. He turns to the girl and said, I'll be right back. He turned to the girls, okay? So, since the girls were left outside alone, Nyla didn't notice herself staring at the girl's pregnant belly and wondering, I'm going to look like that one day. She had also noticed that the girls seemed much older than they were. Nyla thought she had to be Carter's girlfriend. But why was Chase acting so standoffish towards her now? And where had he been? Inside, Nyla could see the curtains moving and someone peeking out. Chase returns, and this time the girl was all over Chase. So, Chase tells me that you're his cousin, the girl said, smiling at Nyla. He said what? Gia spoke up, but Nyla grabbed her by the arm and shook her head, letting Gia know to be quiet. Nyla looked to Chase for answers as to what the girl was talking about and why she was all over him. Oh, Nyla, this is Tanya. Tanya, this is Nyla. That was a way that Chase introduced the two. Hi, Tanya said to Nyla. We're having a baby girl in another month. We? Who? Nyla asked, confused. Chase and I, silly. Didn't he tell you? Nyla looked at Chase wearing his signature smile as usual, but this time it wasn't cute to Nyla. She was left confused and disoriented. Tears began to swell in her eyes as she didn't know what to do. She wanted her mommy. She was too young and inexperienced to deal with something of this nature. Why didn't I listen to my mother? Was the only thing that she could hear in her head. Chase wasn't saying a word or even acted as if he did or was doing anything wrong. He didn't say anything. I have to go. Nyla turned to leave, hearing Tanya say, I'll have Chase call you to let you know when the baby shower will be, okay? Nyla thought the girl looked older, but she had to be as young as she was, if not younger, to not catch on with what was going on. When Gia caught up to Nyla, she sent Gia on her way by telling her she just wanted to be alone. She cried the whole way. When she got to her house, her mother was in the front yard pulling some of the weeds from her flower bed. And where have you been? Her mother said as she looked up from what she was doing. Nyla didn't answer. She just ran past her mother crying even harder. Nyla's mother pulled off her gardening gloves and apron and tossed them on the ground. She knew Nyla's crying had something to do with Chase. What's wrong? Her mother said. Nothing, Nyla shouted. You were right and I was wrong, okay? Nyla was heartbroken, and shaking. She was unsure if she should tell her mother, but she needed some answers, some reassurance that everything was going to be okay. All that Nyla could get to come out of her mouth was, "I'm sorry, Mom," over and over again. Nyla's mother looked confused, and it hurt her that her daughter was hurting so badly. "Nyla, I won't know what's bothering you unless you talk to me." She sat there holding her daughter and assuring her that everything would be okay if she would just tell her what's wrong. Finally, Nyla gained control of her crying and began to tell her mother about how she Finally, Nyla gained control of her crying and began to tell her mother about how she had sex with Chase and about the pregnant girl at his house. Nyla's mother tried to remain calm, but in all actuality, she wanted to beat Nyla and kill Chase. "Now do you understand why I said what I said?" Her mother whispers, trying to be sympathetic to her daughter's feelings while fighting back her anger. "I saw this coming, and I tried to discourage it by lying and saying that you two were cousins. I just didn't want you to get involved and get your feelings hurt. Just think, you could be like that girl and be pregnant right now." Nyla looked up at her mother and quietly said, "I am." What? It was hard for her mother to hear her clearly from the sobbing. "I am." What? Her mother heard that and just lost it. "How do you know? Did you take a test?" "Yes." "What do you know about a pregnancy test?" "We didn't cover that part yet," her mother said, trying to come to grips. "You're getting an abortion. That's all there is to it." "But what if I don't want to? Don't I have a say in this?" "No! You gave it all your say-so when you got yourself into this mess. How could you do this to me? What will people say?" Nyla's mother stood up and ran her fingers through her hair, and she began to pace back and forth. "All you care about is yourself. What about me?" Nyla said to her mother. "This is about you. It's always about you. I'm doing this for you, and one day you will thank me." Pooh! Wow. Wow. Even after all this time, I'm still like, wow. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, still got my wine. A champagne, whatever you want to call it. Wow. You know, the whole mother-daughter thing. Sure. I'm like, not mine. No, I don't care. I told you. Yes. So, of course, the abortion thing is a very big topic, even today. Even bigger topic, I think, now. I don't know. But man, oh man, I guess it is what it is. Let's continue on, shall we? We're close to being done with the book. Am I? Chapter 6. What's done is done. Nyla missed a few weeks from school. A week to heal her bruised heart and ego. A week to heal from the abortion. And a week to gather herself together before seeing Chase again. She never told Chase that she was pregnant, as her mother requested. And none, to her surprise, did she ever hear from Chase after the incident with the girl. When she finally did get back to school, she heard that Chase had a baby girl, 7 pounds, 6 ounces, and that the girl went through terrible labor. They also said that Chase had dropped out of school and was getting married on what was supposed to be the last day of school. This news was a lot for Nyla to deal with, seeing as though her heart wasn't completely healed from what she had encountered. "You okay?" Gia asked. "No, that abortion hurt more than sex, but I bet not worse than childbirth." Nyla tried to force herself to smile. I guess you're right. I still cry about it at night though. Gia hugged her friend. Oh, I know. But maybe the time just wasn't right yet. We still have a lot of growing to do ourselves. Like kicking it and partying, meeting new guys. Nyla pushed her friend away and laughed. I hate when you make me laugh when I'm trying to be mad or sad. What kind of friend would I be if I didn't make you laugh when you're mad or sad? True. Deep thought overtook Nyla. I can't help but wonder if it were a girl or a boy, if it would have been light skinned or dark skinned, if it would have been cute or ugly. Gia! What? Don't tell me you never wondered that. Gia turned her nose up. Come on, girl. You know Chase was not the cutest guy at James Taylor. Sure. Nyla thought for a moment. He wasn't, was he? For a while, Nyla was mad at Chase and hated him. She hated him for what he put her through and all the bullcrap that she had to go through. She wondered why he ever had to speak to her in the hall anyway. Oh well, she thought. What's done is done. Here we are. The last chapter, guys. Chapter 7. The cutest guy on campus. Years later. Alright? From that time on, Nyla and her mother stayed best friends. She graduated high school and was on her way to college. Her life was just beginning. She was happy and content, and when she thought about Chase from time to time, she smiled. Yeah. Okay, sorry. She smiled because it was her first love, and she made it through it. She also remembered her mother telling her that, yes, her heart was broken for the first time, but she can guarantee that it wouldn't be the last. Her mother also let her know that whenever she needed her, she would be there. With this in mind, Nyla embarked on a new journey to college. Nyla made it to college and was having fun. She had a roommate that she got along great with. She joined a sorority in no time and was getting better grades than in high school. Believe it or not, sometimes it be like that. For real. One day, her roommate asks, "Do you have a cousin named Chase?" Nyla thought back for a moment and smiled to herself. Yes. Yes, I do. How did you know that? I thought you looked familiar. My cousin's name is Tanya. I was there that day you had came over to Chase's house. Really? Was all that Nyla could think of to say. Yeah. I was in the house, but I was looking out the window. Wow. Small world. How are they doing? Girl, I don't know. I guess you could say they're okay. They're still staying with Chase's mom. They have 3 kids now. Chase is still working at the gas station. The voice of Nyla's roommate began to fade as she imagined the life that Chase now lived. It didn't seem to be a perfect one, nor did it seem to be happy. She thought about Tanya and then thought about herself and said, just think, that could have been me. Just then, her roommate yelling, "Nyla, telephone, it's someone named Bobby," brought Nyla back to reality. Nyla's roommate handed her the phone and said, "Who's Bobby?" Nyla replied with, "Only the cutest guy on campus." Well, there we go. Took us a whole year to read it. Started in 2024, now it's 2025. Well, the end, but not the last. Meaning that although this was Nyla's first heartbreak, it was not going to be her last. All right, here we go. Look. Part 2 out now. shoot, part 2, part 3, part 4. Okay? Man, we can go ahead and read this right here, the second part of this. Now, this one right here that we just got done reading. Short and sweet, you know what I mean? Well, I want to say wholesome. But of course, the topics are not so wholesome, but more still on a realistic side, right? Well, let me tell you now. Whoa, 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 honey. Let me tell you. The next 3 parts, it ain't nothing like this one. That's for sure. Woo, that is for sure. Nyla go through some things, and Nyla don't seem like the nice, sweet little Nyla y'all know. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm just saying. But I'll read you the little part right here, a little sequel or standalone to Kissing Cousins. Nyla thought the worst thing that could ever happen to her was losing her first love and her unborn child. In the midst of struggling to overcome certain hardships, Nyla hangs out with a new beau who violently rapes her on their first outing. I know y'all like, oh God, no, okay. Don't worry, it's pretty tame. I don't try to go all into super details, but sometimes it is what it is, It's about realistic though, okay? So yeah, violent, like not, I mean, it ain't like grotesque, I suppose, Okay. On their first outing, scared to death, she promises him she'll keep her mouth shut and not tell a soul. Somehow, the cat's out of the bag, and now she fears for her life. That's the next part. Going into kissing my best friend's brother. Oh God, it's a good one. I'm gonna read it to y'all too. Okay, so y'all can like we did here. That was pretty fun, pretty nice. All up in one day. It is 1:04 a.m. How y'all doing? Y'all good? Y'all still up? Probably not. Not like it's live, right? Let me know. Did y'all like it? Did y'all like the book? Did y'all like me reading the book to you guys? I'm pretty sure. I mean, I try to do my best to go through it without, because I'm pretty, heavy. People say heavy-handed. I'm probably heavy-mouthed. Talk too much. Talk a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're gonna get to the next ones. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is good. I like that. All right, guys. Seriously, I really thought I was gonna have to do this in parts, but we did the whole book. That's great. But I guarantee you, the next book's probably going to have to be chapter by chapter by chapter because they're like longer books and whatnot. Yeah, I know you're gonna love it. So I'm gonna see you in the next one. All right. Thank you for bringing in this wonderful new year with me. Even though it probably won't be. I still gotta edit and upload and. Who knows when that's going to happen, but I'm making a New Year's resolution to put it out there, just throw it out there. Let's go. All right, y'all? All right, thank you guys so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want more of me. Bring in Heavy J Fox books to you. So, yeah, we can just do this thing together, all right? All right, y'all be good. Happy New Year, my honeymoon. Good morning. Jimmie love y'all. And so do Have J. We all in this thing together. All right.